After days of chaos, both Indigo and the situation at Indian airports is finally limping back to normalcy.
So let me show you what the Mumbai airport looks like on 10th December at 5:30 p.m. This is of course just a day after over 30 flights, including departures and arrivals, were cancelled from the Mumbai airport. Around 150 flights from the Delhi airport were cancelled. About 120 flights were cancelled from Bengaluru and around 70 odd flights from Hyderabad. Now, this is just a day after over 350 flights were cancelled. Things do seem to be returning back to normal. Now, in addition to this, DGCA has asked Indigo to operate 5% fewer flights. Indigo in total operates about 2,300 flights. 5% of that should put that number around 115, in fact exactly 115, so 115 fewer flights. But that said, I took an Air India Express flight from Delhi to Mumbai in morning, and I am taking a Mumbai to Delhi flight at around 6:30 p.m. And things at both airports seem to be absolutely fine, in the sense that the queues are standard length. Security check-in and the walk from the security gates to the flight gates is taking roughly around the same time. I'm a frequent flyer on this particular route. So all in all, things do seem to be getting better. This is of course more than a week after the Indigo fiasco actually started.
But the fact is, no one is going to let this whole incident go so easily, and rightly so. Now the government has directed Indigo to cut their planned flights by 5% even as rampant cancellations continue. So what does this mean for you as a passenger? Well, for one, fewer flights generally do mean higher ticket prices, especially considering it's holiday season. But in this case, the reality is more nuanced. Let's break it down. First of all, this is not the first time that the aviation regulator has asked an airline to curtail schedules. They did it in 2022 with SpiceJet, though the airline was already operating at less than 50% capacity, so it did not have that much of an impact. They had done it to the now defunct Kingfisher Airlines as well in 2012, and that was the first time a well-capitalized airline had faced the regulator's wrath. DGCA will, however, be cautious considering the ongoing mess, so there's likely to be fewer Indigo flights on routes that are already well serviced by Air India, Akasa and SpiceJet. A reduction in red-eye flights, which take off late at night and land early morning, are expected since Indigo has cited a lack of pilots. In fact, Air India has more pilots than Indigo, even though their fleet size is significantly smaller. So can other airlines now step in to fill the gap? Well, that's not likely on many routes, since the other airlines also have capacity constraints, largely due to supply chain issues. So there will be either few or no red-eye flights if Indigo exits those slots. But if Indigo withdraws from the Delhi-Mumbai slots, then other airlines will step in, since that route has the heaviest traffic. So now, what impact will this have on Indigo? Well, a reduction in the number of operational flights will of course have a direct impact on their revenue, since it means reduced utilization and hence reduced profitability. Indigo's operating model is lean and high utilization, and that's what ended up causing the crisis that ended up unfolding at airports. Indigo and other airlines are already hit by a sliding rupee against the dollar, and regulatory oversight now means additional administrative burden, something that Indigo will have to deal with for losing their focus. In fact, overall 2025 has not been a great year for Indian aviation. First, the Pahalgam attack and its fallouts reduced air traffic during summer vacations. Then the Air India crash hit sentiments, and now Indigo's cancellations have thrown people's year-end plans in disarray. Here's hoping that 2026 will be better. Hope you enjoyed this video. For more such content, stay tuned to Mint.